Yes, what is going on, crypto legends? We are going to be analyzing the price of Bitcoin today, of course, doing the pure technical analysis, looking at what is going to happen on the higher time frames and on the lower time frames. What do we need to see? What are the most important levels? Just like yesterday's live stream that we were talking about, these lows being the most crucial ones to get a significant bounce. The price has been bouncing over $2,000 already from that sweep of the exact low that we mentioned on yesterday's live stream. Just to pay attention on higher time frames, that if the price were to come all the way down to that level, then we are looking for a significant bounce. That was the highest probability bouncing level on the higher time frame. Of course, the price action didn't get any reaction whatsoever from the last higher lows. So when we do analyze the higher lows here that were formed, right, and when we take a look at the price action that happened during the last 24 hours, we sliced through all of those levels very successfully. So we did not get the price action dipping down below those higher lows and getting a recovery above them, not even for 1 minute. No reaction here, no reaction on the other one, and the last one, which was the most legit one, was the one that got the major reaction, right? The one that tapped that low, easy to enter a beautiful long trade. And I got to say, this might be the low, right? This might be the low, and the price is going to recover in the next coming days. Now, this is why I will be maintaining some of that long position, taking a little bit of profits. Of course, we need to take some profits, just a few $100s, but overall we need to leave some open and be very defensive with a stop loss. So basically shorting from $70,000 range and longing from 62,500, 400 range. Now, if we were to claim those lows, then I would be very much interested in a possible long opportunity again, guys. We are looking for the price to get that reversal. This is why I will be willing to re-enter a long position at these zones. However, what do we need to see on the chart? This is what we are going to explain, just like we did explain yesterday. Guys, this is the low. We got some higher lows here, but if we break through them, I am not going to long. I will be longing all the way down to this one over here if we do get that reaction. And we tap that level to perfection, okay? Maybe some people were scared. Maybe some people were looking for lower, because yes, it is true that we did have some more levels to the downside, which is the value area low of the entire range between March and July, right? This is kind of like the ultimate super strong level, which is with the 50% Fibonacci, right? It's a nice confluence area. Would still be very interested in speculating for longs, right? Because I know a lot of people are bearish and that are calling for 50k and even lower. CME futures gap needs to be filled sooner rather than later. Now, if we are going to go with that idea that the gap is going to get filled, you are going to miss a long opportunity, just like a lot of people, since that gap was created here, all right, just about 2 weeks ago. People were not interested. The people that were focused too much in the gap and were scared to long because of the gap that needs to be filled, missed out on longs here, missed out on longs here, missed out on a long here also in the last 24 hours, right? So if you focus too much on the gap, you are going to miss out on some opportunities. So this is why the gap for me is really not much of a big deal. Once we get down to the gap, then we'll analyze the situation. Okay, obviously shorts, a few days ago we were talking about the shorting level. This was the perfect short level at the $69,000-$70,000 range. And that was explained. It was also explained about the liquidity grab above this level, hitting the 0.88 Fibonacci, right? We just had a lot of confluence, realizing that, guys, this is very, very likely that it could be a local top. And so far, the price is already down over $5,000-$6,000, right? During just 4 or 5 days. So in today's episode, we are talking about what needs to happen. what needs to happen here, and I need you to absolutely destroy that like button, guys, on your way in. Absolutely smash up the like button if you enjoy the content. Come on, guys. You know, we talked about yesterday on the live stream, and I know live streams can get very boring because we go through multiple scenarios. We do the education, we explained what happened yesterday, we explain what's happening, you know, in the next coming hours, what are the levels of resistance, what are the levels of support, and people can miss out that crucial point where we talk about the strongest, highest probability zone where we could get a bounce. And if you check yesterday's live stream, it was in between minute 15 and minute 20 where we went through. This is the bouncing level on a higher time frame. You can go and check it out yourself if you want to see, you know, in detail how I explained that this was the level that was going to get the bounce with high probability, right? So I know it gets boring, guys. I try to go through the comment section, but overall, if you stick around long enough, right, we do go through those big major levels where we can create those plans and set the alerts and just remain patient till we hit those levels. I did get into a short position today. I got stopped out at break even with the Legends trading community. This trade did not play out as we were expecting. We had the news event, which was unemployment rate, and it was higher than expected. We get in the DXY getting a massive big hit. Also the S&P 500 on a waterfall at the moment. Very aggressive drop on the S&P 500. And Bitcoin's actually getting a bit of a pump the last couple of hours. So overall, you know, was speculating on a short, and I can give that explanation on this live stream, explaining why the short was entered, where we were putting our stop loss, and that we did get a drop of almost $1,000. I didn't take profit because it was a small position, and then we had the news volatility getting a little bit of movements to the upside and to the downside, right? Nice volatile move up, you know, down, up, back down, then up again. Now we crashing down, right? So there's a bit of a volatility Friday, right? We got a bit of a volatile Friday at the moment, just because after the news, right, we got the closing of the week, and we usually get, you know, a bit of volatility before the markets close, right, in the US. So we are going to talk about the different scenarios. I would be, yeah, if this does come down from this point, I gotta say that this has been a difficult range. Okay, this has been a difficult range, guys. Bear with me here because I want to give the explanations. A bit of a pump and dump, no successful break here. Now we're just dropping down as the S&P 500 is taking a major hit, guys. This is in the last 24 hours, right? 48 hours. We got already a major drop on the S&P 500 of almost 4%. This is a lot for the stock market in the last 2 days. This is a gigantic drop in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. So, you know, pretty aggressive drop. 4% drop on the S&P is quite a bit. Of course, NASDAQ will be taking a little bit more of a larger hit. Percentage wise, it's down over 6% in the last 24 to 48 hours, moving down quite aggressively here. So something what is curious is that the dollar index is dropping down as well. So without a doubt, I think that this is going to bring a massive bullish effect, because we are kind of confirming the breakdown of that very loved point of control on the dollar index, guys. Let me know if you can hear me, and if the music is a little bit too loud. We're going to put a little bit of drum and bass today. Today's Friday drum and bass day, so a bit of drum and bass in the background is going to do good for a nice Friday morning, evening, right, wherever you are in this amazing world. So a quick confirmation here. We are breaking down from the point of control. This is good, guys. This is maybe short term not good, right? There's no instant negative correlation. Bitcoin did pump as we were dumping, but now Bitcoin's getting a major pullback. So there's no instant correlation, but this is going to be good for next week, guys. This is going to be very good unless we have a massive recovery on the dollar index, right? If this daily candle does close like this, it's going to be looking very spicy. I would be expecting lower highs to be formed to go to lower levels for next week and in the following weeks as well, okay? It looks pretty good for the dollar index to actually continue this drop, as we are losing one of the most important levels here from the last 2 years that we did consolidate for several weeks in July. Okay, we were finding support, but we are currently just losing this level. So it looks pretty good to come beneath this low over here. And without a doubt, Bitcoin should have a bullish effect, right? Not instantly. Bitcoin could drop down as we are dropping down at the same time. It's not an instant negative correlation, but overall the trend, if it does continue as I expect to the downside for the next week, we will see Bitcoin getting a pretty significant reversal, in my opinion. So we are going to go through Bitcoin technical analysis. We are going to zoom out on the higher time frames and analyze these, the most important levels of resistance. What are the different possibilities here regarding Elliott wave theory? Keeping it basic, are we going to get a bounce to $67,000, $68,000? We need to be ready because there is a lot of resistance there. This was explained in today's video update. Okay, this is higher time frame swing trade perspectives. We'll be zooming in right now on lower time frames to analyze the local scenarios, looking at the 15-minute and the 5-minute chart, okay, to look for some day trade setups, of course. However, higher time frames, we beautiful reaction. Hey, the long is there. If you did long based on yesterday's prediction low, I haven't got the video ready here, but you can see it on today's video update, right? We mentioned in detail at minute 15 to 20 about this low being claimed, right, and getting a nice bounce. There was no reaction from the first higher lows, so you should be in that long position, okay, on any exchange, of course, right, from that exact level, that exact low at 62,300. You got a few minutes to decide to enter, so you can enter at 62,400, 62,500 like I did. I didn't get the best entry. I waited for the reaction. So far so good. Quick entry, stop loss beneath the low. We can have that long position open because maybe the price could rise to 67 or even higher, guys, right? These are nice little swing trades. And if you are not trading on Bybit is one of my favorite trading platforms. You do have a great bonus down below, guys, as you know, in the description. However, Bluffing right now has a great competition going on, $300,000 worth of bonus, right? It's a pool where you do get distributed this bonus for everybody. And we are doing really good on the competition, right? We're in the top rankings in the top 10. We're just in the middle at the moment. If you want to get a piece of the cake, you also get an incredible bonus, which is 15% cash back on Bluffing. And the good thing about Bluffing, it's a no KYC platform. Just with an email and a password, you can start trading, and they have proof of reserves, so they are very legit platform, guys. We're not going to talk about no legit platforms here on the channel. So before I dive in through Bitcoin on higher time frames and on lower time frames, right, we're going to talk about the most important zones that need to hold, just like we did yesterday. Guess what? Which was the level that needed to hold, which we were looking for a swing failure pattern? It was the $62,300, guys. That was the higher time frame major level of support. What happened? Of course, we were trading at $65,000 range. I missed the short. I didn't get into the short, but I was waiting for the long. So, we didn't short, but I did long. So overall, there's opportunities all the time. This is why we want to stay focused, right? Because there is going to be another zone that we're going to mention on the higher time frame that has an extreme high probability in getting a bounce. And I don't want the price coming down there and getting a bounce and then going on to the next video and say, guys, we talked about this level, right? I want guys saying, yeah, I got into the long. Let me know, guys, if anybody longed this. Anybody longed the 62,300. I know Aditya did. I know he did. I know you did get some really nice profits on this long position. So, yeah, we're going to go through that, guys. Okay, so we will be talking about, bear with me here, guys, because it's too much. I need to focus. I need to talk about the levels of support here, the levels of resistance, and then we'll zoom in on the lower time frames to analyze what waves we could be in, right? What are the local levels of support and resistance? Even though today is a difficult day, just because of the news. We got unemployment rate being higher than expected, non-farm payrolls lower than expected, so we're getting that volatility. It is Friday, markets close, and Fridays many times are quite bearish for the stock market, okay? So getting a bit of that volatility. It's not going to be easy, guys. Fridays are not that easy for trading. I longed Solana and BTC, says MK1 What an absolute legend. Already took profits on Solana. Dump incoming. Please explain why. Why do you think a dump is coming right now at this zone? You know, I can already tell you that the structure on lower time frames doesn't look too bad, right? It doesn't look too bad. And we'll go through that in the next coming minutes. Okay, so overall, it's important to take some profits, right? It's important to take some profits, even though if it's a swing long, right? You know, I've got a pretty nice long position right now that is in profits of $400 unrealized. I took about $300, and you know, just in case if it does go up, we want to have a hedge, right? We got that short position as well from higher, which I've taken most of the profits because I'm overall higher time frame bullish. So we need to take a bit of profits, right? Scratch them off if it's a swing trade, because we never know if we are going to reverse from here. But I will be ready for another swing long position, guys. This is why we are going to get you prepared in this live stream for that swing trade perspective. So make sure to destroy that like button, guys. Come on, you got the education, you got the levels, you got the risk management. What else do you want? Do you want me to trade for you? Let's go through comment section first of all. Say hello to the beautiful community. Good morning, Frank guides. How are you doing? Valerie, sound is good. Morning, Andy, up from here or fake out. We will go through the lower time frames in just 1 second, because the volatility today is not helping too much with the technical analysis, right? We got a bit of technical analysis just broken through, up, down, right? I really don't like when we do have these news events, because it's a big fat, you know, the technical analysis is not that respected. You just get pumps and dumps and, you know, a bit of volatile moves, fake outs, not real breakouts. So it's difficult when there's news, without a doubt. Okay, I try and stay away and very aware of the price action and the trading opportunities. Hello, Andy. Hope you're doing well. Good. Your fan from Pakistan, Mohammed. How are you doing? Emmanuel. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? Cutest girl. Yeah. 𝗖𝗵𝘆𝗽𝗫 is Bitcoin. Mustafa, my brother, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Carol, hit the like. Yes, MK1 Alexander, hit the like. Thank you very much, my man. Nasdaq breaking support. Yeah, I know. Nasdaq and S&P 500 are taking the hit very aggressively. BTC dropping. Well, I mean, yeah, it's dropping down a bit, but overall, we are long from this area. We bounced, right? Bitcoin's dropping right now here, but nothing to be scared of just yet. And we could go down to some lower levels here, which I'm going to explain. Okay, I will explain the market structure on the lower time frames, and just explaining you why there is a high chance that we could be forming a higher low for Bitcoin if we do get that breakdown. And that is as simple as just looking at this, for example. Can you see this market structure? Can you see this market structure right over here that happened in the third, fourth week of July, right? It's just understanding the lower highs, the lower lows right over here, okay? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, higher high right there, because this last lower high, right, and this last lower low, we got the last lower low here. Well, this turns into a higher high just because you formed a lower low, and this is the last lower high. Looking at the 15-minute, 30-minute, doesn't really matter. And this is why this is high probability, higher low. We mentioned this on a live stream just about a week ago, right? We mentioned about this area being a long position. I longed here. This is a live stream back on the 25th of July. You can check that live stream. We were talking about this being a double bottom low and looking for the rise. So what happened here was a break of structure. And I was also pretty confident to say, guys, we are likely going to form a higher low from here. This is no lie. You have it on YouTube from the 25th, 26th of July. Very much expecting a higher low to be formed here. This is why that there is a probability here, of course. Price could get the dump down, sweep up the lows of today. Now, the question is, will we manage to form a higher low if that dump were to happen here? Well, I'm going to say absolutely yes, because we have a similar break of structure that we had back then, okay, on the 25th of July. And it's all got to do with probabilities and market structure, because we do have, right, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high right there. The price action that we did get late last night was confirming a higher high. So yes, this could get aggressive and it could come down to the 7.8 Fibonacci, to the 0.88 Fibonacci, and maybe get a rise, or maybe this has been the higher low right over here. Okay, just purely based on the market structure, okay? Just purely based on the local market structure, right? Which has had a confirmed higher high, right? It's had a confirmed higher high right there. Now, I wanted to go on the higher time frames. I will go through comment section right away, okay? Cash out, 32K incoming, thank me later. $32,000 is very far away. Come on, let's focus on what is happening locally, okay? Come on, guys. You know, I do get these comments sometimes. We're going down to 30K. We're going up to 80K. You know, come on. You know, let's focus on what's happening now, right? Imagine me coming on YouTube and saying, guys, we're going down to 30K. You know, it'd just be extremely boring, right? Let's focus on what happens here. Could we start breaking down and maybe in the next coming months get down to 32K? Absolutely yes, but we're gonna go. We go level to level, right? On the chart, we go level to level, right? Even though if I'm bearish and saying we're going down to 30K, you know, I need to look for shorts and for longs, right? I'm in a short from 69K zone, and I'm in a long here from yesterday at 62,500 because of the technical analysis, because of the technical levels. If I'm just focusing on 32K, well, we're not going to look for longs and shorts. We're not going to trade. We're just going to short, right? Or I don't know. We look for longs and shorts, guys, okay? Major levels of support and resistance. This is why I'm short from the exact top and I'm long from the exact low for the moment, right? And it's not off the cards that we could go to lower levels, but I would be still looking for longs. And that has to do with purely with Elliott wave theory. We're not going to zoom out too much. My goodness, my throat. We're not going to zoom out too much because I'm just going to go with this local scenario, right? For me, it's pretty clear that this has been an ABC, right? This big fat range where we are seeing accumulation from whales, right? It's good to see people bearish. It's fantastic. I would be worried once I see people in the comment section, my bags are filled, you know, I'm in insane profits, let's go, Bitcoin to the moon. If we get a lot of people bullish, then that is a moment to worry. That's when you want to try and sell your bags. The fact that we have people bearish in the comment section even is extremely good, right? It's a very good sentiment. This means that we are it's still early in the cycle. There's a lot of bearish sentiment out there on Twitter, also in comment sections, right? I see it across all social media. There is some doubt of going to lower levels. So which is good, right? This is what we want to see if you want the price to go to higher levels. And I think we are in a very similar scenario to what happened right over here, where you got a flat ABC, right? You claim highs, you claim lows, you're off to the races. The fact that we are consolidating here at the previous all-time highs for such a long time, guys, this is insanely bullish. It's insanely bullish. Very, very bullish, especially when you're forming lower highs here. Oh my goodness, you know, you do not realize how bullish this is of creating a consolidation. This ain't no double top and we're going down to 20K. You know, this ain't no double top and we're going down to 20K or any of that nonsense. This is extremely bullish. You know, without a doubt, we'll be seeing all-time high in the next coming weeks. You know, this is how confident I am on this move. Yes, we could go to 60K or 58K more locally here. That's absolutely fine. But I personally believe that we will not successfully break the support of this range. We will not leave this range successfully to go to lower levels without hitting all-time high. It's just it's purely based on the massive macro uptrend, on looking at Elliott wave theory. It's just highly unlikely. It is highly unlikely. And going just with the focusing on this major range, right? Just keeping it simple, you know, ABC scenario right there. And as simple as looking at this as a first wave to the upside, which would be looking like something like this, right? Where you're looking for a possible ABC corrective move right now, or the most bullish case scenario. This would be the most bearish case scenario on the short time frame, right? Even going down to 57 or 56K, it doesn't really matter, but overall looking for a higher low to be formed. Now this would be the short-term most bearish case scenario. There is the most bullish case scenario. Overall, both scenarios are bullish for the next coming weeks, right? The most bearish one there is actually dropping down to lower levels to fill that loved CME futures gap, right? In the end, very much a possibility that could happen in the next couple of weeks. Then there is the extreme bullish case scenario where we are forming a flat corrective structure in a wave 2, okay, which is obviously very possible as well. You're already finishing your wave 2 here, and we're going to start forming that wave 3 here to the upside in the next coming weeks to head to all-time high. Very much possible, okay? Very much possible that this could be a flat structure. You have really nice 5-wave counts, and maybe this has been a, you know, get down to the low, hit the high, hit the lows of the range, and then off we go to the races. This does happen. This does happen, right? These flat structures are very, very disturbing and are very, very complex. So we need to take it into consideration. Maybe this is the case. However, there is the other scenario, which is still very much valid, looking at Elliott wave theory on these counts, right? Where there is a possibility of a lower high. This is why we need to talk about those levels and create those trading plans. Because if we were to form this B wave to the upside, okay, because even here locally, when you take a look at the market structure, you got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. So this is why you can not only be bullish, 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 or bearish, bearish, bearish. We need to consider the market structure change here locally. So this is a classic move where you get the price pumping very aggressively in the next coming days. But we could start facing some resistance, and we need to take into consideration that possibility for the ABC corrective move regarding Elliott wave theory. Okay, so I would be remaining a little bit cautious if we were to get a rally here to 67K zone, right, or 68K, right? If we have an attempt to break above that zone, right, maybe the price is going to roll down from here. Okay, I'm not predicting that we are going to go there. Okay, just to be clear, it's just a zone where I would be interested to check the price action. Are we going to get consolidation? Are we going to start forming those beloved double, triple tops just like we did at 70K? This is why I'm remaining patient and I'm getting the exact entry and the good risk management. This is why I'm in a short position from that level, right? Because I was remaining patient and looking at the topping point for that double, triple top. And this could be a zone where that could happen when we are speculating in a possible ABC structure. Now, when we do zoom out, the most important level, of course, is that point of control from the entire range. And that could be in confluence with that B wave top. We could see that B wave top. And what I do like about this level, okay, we need to get the reaction. We need to hit that zone at 67, maybe try and break through, hit 68K, right? The kind of most bullish case scenario. If it does fail that breakout, well, we are looking at a possible topping point there. We do have some beautiful lower highs right there. They're the first lower highs from this major drop, right? Just a few days ago, we got the drop and we formed a little bit of a kind of an inverted head and shoulder, right? A descending wedgie structure on lower time frames, right? It looked pretty promising for the reversal. I did enter the long position, as you know, at lower levels, got stopped out at break even with this movement down and, you know, missed out on the short, but I'm already short from higher. So the thing about these lower highs is it's a classic liquidity grab, right? just like the lows that we did have from here, right? Very much predicting that, hey, sweep up these higher lows from this range. Sweep the higher lows, get the bounce, guys. It's one of the favorite strategies. I explained this many times on the channel. You get an uptrend, higher lows, uptrend, higher lows, sweep the first higher low zone, and you get the bounce. Well, it's a very similar scenario here, and it's all about remaining patient to see how the price reacts at those zones. So if we do get those lower highs right there, we got a couple of them, right? We just get a magnet. We got this first one, that's the most juicy one, and you got a couple of them right over here. Preferably, we want to get the highest point, right? This is in confluence with that point of control from the range, right? We've got the point of control from March to July, which is sitting at $67,000. So could the price of Bitcoin, right, rally to there? Possibly, right? I'm speculating on that. We might come down one more time and then go up. We don't really know. Okay, let's see if we do get that bullish momentum. For the moment, the stock market is not helping. It's taken a massive hit, right? It's taking a massive hit. Maybe it's going to drag Bitcoin and crypto to the downside as well, based on this very aggressive drop. So yeah, maybe it can get dragged down to claim the lows again. But what if we do go higher? What plans do you have? Which is the highest confluence zone? What are you looking at regarding technical analysis? Well, I'm looking at this scenario. The bullish case scenario is that we rip through that level and we go to higher levels. But then there's this one right over here that looks very promising as well. So what if the price does come up to that level? Well, this is the area of confluence. This is the area where I'm looking for a possibility swing failure pattern. This one is the most juiciest one right over here, which is sitting at $67,560. If the price were to go up there, I am looking for that swing failure pattern, and maybe this is going to be the high and we're coming back down to sweep up the lows. Now the price of Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a steep corrective move. It is moving down right now, so we'll talk about locally on what can happen here. All right, it's taking the hit right now. This for me was a very difficult short position. You know, this peak right over here, yeah, very, very difficult to enter a short position right there. It's just really, you have these highs very close. This is why the 0.88 Fibonacci is, you know, it's been very respected lately. You know, you're kind of waiting for the highs to be hit, and it just front runs it, right? It happens a lot lately on Bitcoin. So yeah, this is a short that I personally, you know, there's no way how I could look for that short position at that level exactly. With session volume profile, do we have any? It's that, well, we got a rejection from the daily open. We did get, but yeah, just daily open. For me, it was just not a great level. Just to randomly, it was back testing an old daily level, just like we did here also last night. Very difficult short position. Very, very difficult short. Purely based on stop loss, right? You can't, if you want your stop loss at the highs here, you're just looking to get stopped out. Yeah, this was a very difficult short. You know, this wouldn't be a short that I would enter unless we have very aggressive bearish CVD divergence. And we can take a look at CVD, by the way, what's happened here locally. Muy importante. And yeah, it looks like that we did form some pretty aggressive bearish CVD divergence on Bybit, where we were creating those lower highs slightly here and very aggressive higher highs on the CVD, right? To finally get that, you know, major move down right now that is happening. So yeah, it was still, for me, it's really not a great shorting level. These are very difficult levels to short. You were forming very aggressive bearish CVD divergence, at least very aggressive higher highs. So to get into a short here, very, very complex. You know, you could have a shot and have a stop loss at the high, but you're kind of asking to get stopped out. Very difficult short, right? We cannot trade everything, guys. I create some plans and I just trade the plans. So higher time frame plans would be coming all the way up here to this zone of $67,000. It's just getting ready, guys. Get ready some plans. I know there's a lot of people impatient. They're like, hey, we're dumping, you know, why are we talking about these levels of resistance? You know, this is higher time frame. Just like yesterday when we were trading at $65,000, And we talked about this level getting a bounce at 62,300, right? And people are like, you know, screw you. Why are you talking about this level? Well, this level could be hit tomorrow or next week, right? It's just getting a preparation on the different possibilities on higher time frame, right? So this is the zone of interest where we could form that B wave top, right? It's going to be very difficult. We're going to have to check the different reactions because we could actually just sweep up these highs over here. We do have some liquidity above $67,000 when we do take a look at the lower time frame. There's really not that much. There is about, you know, maybe about $2 billion of short liquidations above that 67K. Obviously, we do have a lot of liquidity above 70K. So, I mean, we might just sweep up that high and then get the corrective move. So my overall plan here is looking at these lower highs. We got one attempt right there. And then I would take this one into consideration, the same as this level. But if we break through that level, we do not get any major reaction and it's not rejecting from it, then I would be looking for this one right over here. And the good thing about this one right over there, when we take a look at the Fibonacci retracement, we do have the 61865, which is where we have the point of control of the entire range of March and July. 618 Fibonacci from this entire drop of the last week. So I like the confluence that there is here. Point of control of the range March, July. We got this lower high right there. It could easily be a liquidity grab. And then if we do reject successfully, you're looking for a short trade here as soon as you reject from that level. So that is definitely one that's on the cards for me as a trading plan. Now the price is dropping. We're going to go back down to the lows. Well, let's focus here locally, guys. Okay, because I know a lot of people want to focus on what's happening here locally. And let's put in the session volume profile, but also the fixed volume profile from this range. Yeah, we could be coming down if we do break down successfully from this value area low of this entire trading zone of the last 24 hours. We could be coming down to the previous day value area low. I mean, this was a failed breakout from the previous day value area high, the daily open. You could have attempted the get back inside of the previous day value level and have a speculation short with a, you know, relatively tight stop loss. You know, if you do get back inside of the previous day value zone, you have a probability of coming down to the previous day value area low. So without a doubt, it was kind of an acceptable. I wasn't paying attention to this really as I was getting the live ready. But, you know, you have this kind of attempt with what's happened here. And it's just an education perspective, right? This is already moving down. But just so you realize, if you do get a fake out from the previous day value level high, for example, here, and you get back inside of it, if you move up of it, right? And then you get very aggressively inside again the previous day value level, and you come and back test the level, you got a possible entry point. And the take profit zone for this is, you know, coming down to the other side of the value range. It's very much possible. Then that would be the kind of the projected move if you get back inside of the previous value zone. So obviously taking some profits at, you know, the sweep of these lows, right? You'd want to say, okay, I'm going to lock some profits here just in case you get a reaction and you start moving above, back above again. So just as an education perspective here, guys, you know, that was, you know, if you wanted to take a short here, I could not short here. This for me was, regarding stop loss, it's like, oh, you know, we're just too close to these highs and I just look at the possibility of a wick. So for me, this is not really a short that I would have taken, but this one would have maybe would have been a short that I would have possibly taken. Get back inside the previous day value area high as a failed breakout and look for the possible short. And you don't need to put stop losses here, just put stop losses, you know, slightly above the previous day value area high, because if you get back above, then you know that you possibly can still continue this run up. and look and target basically this low and the value area low, and maybe leave some open just in case the price just drops very aggressively to the downside like it is doing. I think the S&P 500 is dragging down the price of Bitcoin. Major waterfall here on the S&P 500. We haven't seen such a waterfall here since April. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, not even April, right? Because this was relatively short looking at the 4 hourly. This has been the most aggressive drop that we've had on the S&P 500 in the entire 2024, guys, okay? So it's the most aggressive drop that we've had in the last, basically 2024, and even you could arguably discuss the last year. This is the most aggressive drop that we've had on the stock market in the last 12 months. And obviously Bitcoin is getting the effect of this major waterfall that is happening here in the last 24 hours, right? 24 to 48 hours. So it's been the most aggressive drop in the last 12 months on the stock market. So regarding the different scenarios here, what I do like, and I would take into consideration here, guys, is I know that we are in a downtrend, but we've broken local structure to the downside. I mean, this is very disturbing. For the reason that we've formed a higher high here is very disturbing, and I do see the chance of Bitcoin creating a higher low here at some point. Of course, this is very, very difficult when you are so close to the lows. Nobody wants to get into a long position when you're very close to the lows, especially when you're downtrending, because when you're downtrending, you just have high probability in claiming those lows. So catching the lows for a reversal is very complex, and it's very dangerous if you cannot manage your risk, right? You can get in with a few peanuts, right? And if you get stopped out a few peanuts, then that is fine. But if it reverses and it starts moving up in the next coming days, then obviously the wins can be pretty nice. So about this scenario, right? Where could we form a higher low? If we drop down here, I mean, I need to see a bit of magic price action. I'm already happy to maintain that long trade open from this point. And if I get stopped out at break even, like I mentioned, higher time frame levels of support, guys, is the value area low of this entire range, right? In a nutshell, just keeping it simple. It's the 50% Fibonacci from the pivot low to the pivot high. You got value area low. I think we got the previous month equilibrium. Okay, if we do take a look at the previous month levels, we got the previous month equilibrium, which is the 50% Fibonacci from the previous month highs to the previous month lows. Very important level always to take into consideration for the week or for the month. The equilibrium is usually a good level of confluence if you add it to other levels. In this case, the value area low of March and July, the 50% Fibonacci from the entire pump that we've had from July, and it's also the 50% previous month equilibrium, right? So there's a lot of confluence at 61,600 range, and we would want to see a reaction, right? It would be a bit of an aggressive long if you're just getting into the long as you tap the level and you move above it, right? It would be very aggressive, but it could get that bounce, right? You didn't have much of a reaction when we dropped down to the lows here that we mentioned yesterday. It was just a tap and we started recovering in a matter of minutes, right? So if you're waiting for that reaction consolidation, it might just hit the level and get a massive V-shaped recovery. So you just need to be ready for that level. Realize if you are faking out, manage your risk, because you can make a 5-10 to 1 risk to reward on that trading setup. Okay, none of that adding to position and stuff like that here, because if the price just suddenly drops down to the CME futures gap, if you're using more than a 20x leverage, you're just going to get wrecked and you're going to get underwater very, very quickly with a large sum of your capital. We do not want that, guys. You know, we do not want to hold major big positions at a loss, okay, because that is where people burn their accounts. So that is the most important level on the higher time frame. If we were to break through and we do not get any reaction from 61,700, guys, right? We do not react to that level and we just smash through the zone, then what is the next level, right? We just need to go level to level, right? we need to react at certain levels. And if those levels are not reacted on, then we're looking at the next one. And what would be the next one beneath $61,700? Well, that is what we are going to find out right now. Without a doubt, it would be the 618 Fibonacci, right? Just keeping it clear, the most respected Fibonacci retracement, which is that golden pocket 61865 zone. This is in confluence with the CME futures gap zone. Okay, so this is the area where the price could start reacting quite nicely if we were to drop down there. Okay, this is going to be difficult. This is no zone to just suddenly jump into a long position with a limit order. You know, I would want to see a little bit of price action, getting a bit of a reaction, consolidating there for 24, 48 hours, and then we'll move forward from there, right? To say, okay, guys, this looks good, and we could reverse from this point in a swing long perspective. So that is the next zone. I mean, I wouldn't say, let's take a look if we do have any other confluence levels here, guys. I need to just take a look at naked point of control daily. We got a naked point of control basically from the 14th of July, which is slightly above the 618. It could get us, just a gentle tap at the 618. This is at $60,000. This would be the top of the gap zone. You might get supported by the top of the gap, okay? We got a naked point of control from the 14th of July, and it's the 618 area. It might get a bit of a reaction and an instant bounce from this zone, but it will be very difficult. We would have to see lower time frames, how we're reacting to that level right over here where we have the CME futures gap. It's the 618, and you have that beautiful naked point of control, high volume node from the 14th of July. So we'll get that. We'll talk about that once we cross the bridge, right? For the moment, we are very far away from that level. Well, not that far away. It's only $3,000 away. So, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge once we get there. So let's talk about more locally here, guys. What we need to see on the price of Bitcoin, zooming in on the lower time frames. What I would want to see here to believe, to see if we are going to form a higher low at this area. Right now, it does not look too great, right? A bit of a falling knife. I don't like, looking for a long here right now because we're going to reverse. This is very falling knifey. It looks like we want to sweep these lows. It looks like we want to try and attempt and go to lower levels. So not interested in longing a falling knife, just like not interested in shorting a major pump, right? It's like, where should I short? If you're looking for a lower high, wait for the reaction. When the price stops, then you can see that you potentially could form a reversal. So this is what I would want to see here at this area. If the price does stop at this area, I would consider a possibility of a reversal. That's what we need to see. We need to see the price stopping. If the price stops, then we consider a possible reversal point, right? We can manage risk. We know where to put our stop losses. If the price does not stop, then this could possibly claim the lows and go to lower levels, right? Just keeping it simple. So this would be a very aggressive swing failure pattern level. Yeah, I would not be interested in. Are we just hitting the low right now? Yeah, definitely not interested in this. I personally would not be interested in it. I want to take a look at the Fibonacci retracement levels. My goodness, it looks like stock market is dragging the price of Bitcoin to the downside very aggressively. Fibonacci retracement 618 is being hit right now. It might get a small reaction. Really not interested in longing a falling knife, guys, even though if it's the golden pocket. I'm personally not interested. It's moving down very aggressively. We don't want to fight the major drop. We need to see reaction. We need to see a consolidation. And this, if it's not 618, if it's not 78, then off we go down to the lows. The moment we start getting a reaction at certain points, either here or here, and we start forming this local range, then we can look for those descending channels, double bottoms, for a speculation of a reversal. Until this does not happen and we start forming a structure and proof of support, I am longing. If I want to long here, if I want to, well, I don't want to short as well, as we're hitting this 618, this is like late to the party, right? Even though if it does continue down, it all has to do with where to put your stop loss, right? You might just get an instant quick bounce and then roll down. So shorting right now is for me definitely not an option, even though the price does continue down. It's just regarding where to put stop loss. So let's see the CVD, because CVD is also taking a major dip. It's also taking a major dip. Let's zoom out on the CVD and analyze if we are forming. So these bullish CVD divergence, the bearish CVD divergence are playing out very nicely. You're claiming the low right there. Very difficult short exactly at the high, as I explained. This movement down inside of the value area was kind of an acceptable short, like I explained before, right? Losing the value area high, you could have speculated on that short position as you get back inside it and back test it. It was not a bad idea, because you have proof of weakness, right? You have proof of weakness of the bulls, and then getting back inside the previous day value area high is a very strong sign of weakness. And like I mentioned, the target zone, if you're getting him back inside of a previous day value level, you can target the previous day value area low, which we are very close to right now. So, these give you really good projections, guys. It's actually a strategy. If you take a look at the session volume profile and you analyze how many times this has happened, we're just going to leave the price of Bitcoin at the moment, guys, till we get that reaction. It's just falling down. So we could lose the lows. So there's really not much to talk about on a falling knife. It's just moving down. So we'll let the price do what it needs to do. And then once we start ranging, then we can speculate on a possible scenario. But yeah, basically this strategy over here, guys, which is getting back inside of a value level, right? So when you take a look at, it happens, I would say 80% of the times, when you got a value range and you got value area low and value area high, of course you open above it or beneath it. When you cross the previous day value level, you usually go down to the next previous value zone. Look at this, right? You crossed the previous day value area high and you went down to the previous day value area low. Same scenario, looking at the next day, right? Next day, what do you have here? Of course, you kind of opened inside. You went beneath the previous day value area low, but you can see how, once you get beneath it, right? Because you open basically inside of the value area. You open inside of the area. Look how you basically move down beneath the previous day value area low. Once you get above it, you can see proof of support, and your target zone can be the highs of the previous day value area, right? It's a very, very powerful strategy, and it does happen, I would say 75 to 80% of the times. And there's multiple different examples. Of course, if you open a value area inside of the previous one, it's just, you're just inside already, right? So there's no real, you're inside the value area. But look at this, you got the previous day value area high, and you got the previous day value area low. You open inside of the previous day value area and look at the price, how it attempts to break above the previous day value area high, and it fails miserably. And you can then here target back down to the previous day value area low, right? Stop loss above the high from the failed breakout, and then you're moving back down to the previous day value area low. This is basically what is happening today, and this happened the other day, right? You get a fake out from previous day value area high, you fail to move above it, you're back inside, and you can see the price how it does not manage to break back above it. And where are you targeting? Well, as a take profit 1, potentially, right? Or take profit 2, depending on VWAP, and if you're scalping, you're looking for the previous day value area low. This is exactly what is happening today. This is what happened a couple of days ago. You tried to break above the previous day value area high, and we failed. We failed today, and the previous day value area high was failed to get above. We got back inside of the previous day value area high, and you targeting the previous day value area low. The same thing happened 2 days ago. Previous day value area high, you open inside, you attempt to break it, you get back inside, that's giving you a short trigger, stop loss above the high, you're targeting the value area low. This is basically what's happening right now as we speak. We failed to break above the previous day value area high. We got back inside and we're coming down to the previous day value area low. Price is just in a waterfall, legends. We are just moving down. I was getting the live stream ready. I'm not going to say I would have entered, but if I would have been charting and analyzing carefully this local range before getting the live stream ready, it was a possible attempt to get into the short as we were losing previous day value area high. So right now we're at the 7.8. We're just getting a small reaction. There's still a falling knife, guys. No longs to be taken here at this exact moment until we see proof of support, proof of ending of this downtrend, which would be looking like something like this, but inverted, right? You want to see the price stopping here at, in the next coming hours. If you don't stop, if we do not stop right now, we're just looking to break through the lows. We're looking to break through the lows. Okay, so I would be ready for the 61,600 for the swing long. But yeah, we're currently at the previous day value area low. That's obviously getting a small little reaction. Previous day value area lows usually get a reaction. You can see it right there. Small little reaction here. Not very much of a reaction here. This just continued. There was no consolidation. So that's a good sign right now at the moment. The price at least is getting a stop. It's getting a breather. It's getting a breather from this local level of support. Previous day value area low. It is getting a breather. Let's see if this breather is going to be for a few hours. Very aggressive. Very aggressive to get into long here, guys. To be honest, on the, at the drop, you're hitting 7.8 Fibonacci and the previous day value area low. I would rather wait for a bit of dancing momentum. Dancing. Let's see if we do claim the low, and I would consider a double bottom in the next coming hours, possibly. We are forming bullish CVD divergence. This is flipped. The bearish CVD divergence have played out. You formed the lower highs, the higher highs on Bybit, and now we are having those aggressive lower lows on the CVD. Not that aggressive. Not that aggressive. We actually haven't got we haven't got them, guys. My bad. We haven't got them. We kind of got some here, but it's not enough, without a doubt. We need to see much more lower lows here from this pivot and lower lows here, and the price consolidating. We need to see absorption. We need to see absorption here, consolidate, still the continuation of lower lows on the CVD to even think about the price reversing from this point. Because this is just basically a big, massive waterfall. And I want to sit on my hands on the waterfall. And I don't want to be the last dude shorting the market, right? I don't want to be the last guy, looking for shorts right now, even though if price does continue down. It's regarding where to put your stop loss. Everything is dropping. We do have the DXY is dropping as well. I mean, this is good for the mid-long term. This is good for next week. Right now, everything is dropping, right? S&P, DXY, Bitcoin, crypto. So we taking the hit. This is the largest drop that we've had on the stock market from the last 12 months or even much more, guys. The strongest drop of 2024 is happening right now on the stock market in front of our eyes. Sorry about that, guys. What a major hit. Long time since I haven't seen this on the stock market, guys. It's been quite a long time. These drops were relatively much slower than the ones that are happening now, man. Wow. Really nice drop. Anyway, let's help Andy. I'm on the verge to lose $14,000. Catalyst, what's going on? What happened? Where are you trading? Let me know to see if I can help you out here, but I don't like to hear that from the community. You're probably in a toxic long position and you don't have a stop loss, you need help, guys, be very defensive. The most important thing in trading is being defensive. I attempted a short position today and I got stopped out at break even. I was sharing it with the Legends trading community, the exact entry, why we entered into that position, the volatility, why we had from the news, you know, going in detail on the different possibilities here, and said, look guys, I'm out, break even. Let's see how the price reacts now in the next coming hours and look for another opportunity, right? So be defensive, guys. The most important thing in trading is protecting your capital. It doesn't matter how much gains. Don't think about the gains. Think about probabilities and defending your capital, okay? Always. Trading is about defending your capital, not only about making money. This is really important, okay? So 𝗕𝗏𝗏, give me a little bit of your opinion on what, you know, where you entered, what have you done? Potentially you haven't had a clear strategy of what's happening at the moment. But if you're down $14,000, well, I guess you longed much higher, right? Anyway, I wish I could help. Sorry guys, I dropped the market because I bought over there. Why market is water falling? Well, we do have news coming out today that was unemployment rate is higher than expected. It's at 4.3. It's 1.2% higher than expected. And yeah, I think the news has to do, unemployment rate in the US is very important. And if the unemployment is going higher, it means that the economy is not doing that well as they kind of expect. And then the market is actually feeling the pain because of that. So Bitcoin will go to 67,000, then Bitcoin will fall. Bitcoin will go to 67,000, then it will fall. It is falling right now as we speak. It's going to claim the lows. Yeah, we're just going to have to be ready for the next scenario, guys. I'm just going to be ready for the next swing long, which is, I mean, unless we double bottom from here and we see some sign of support in the next coming hours, but I'm not interested in catching a falling knife, I can tell you that. I need to see some proof of support, a double bottom. I don't mind entering late the trade, see the sign of sign of support. It doesn't matter. There's opportunities all the time, right? So we don't need to be the guy that catches the bottom. Wait for a sign of support, double bottom here, or the next strongest level here to take into consideration is that 61,700, 600 range, where we do have the value area low of the entire trading zone here, right? Don't worry, guys, not to panic. We just need to see a bit of proof of support at these certain levels. Value area low, 50% Fibonacci, okay? You know, those aggressive traders can look for a long position only if you do react at this level. Only if you do react here, as in hit the level, get back above it, you can get an instant bounce like we did here yesterday, right? We got an instant bounce of over $2,000. I just locked a bit of profits. Probably got stopped out here at break even, just about to get stopped out at break even from that long trade, and then I'll analyze the situation for the swing long. Okay, well, managed to lock it in. This is why we need to always take some profits, even though if it's just a few $100s or a few thousand, right? Depending on how much you're using for those different trading setups. So I'm going to remain patient here, guys. Like I said, we either double bottom from yesterday's lows. We'd have to see some magic price action, get back above, see a sign of strength, buy orders getting in there, right? Or we come down another $1,000 and we analyze the 50% Fibonacci value area low, where we could be seeing some pretty nice support levels here. Yeah, this is basically the zone of interest for me to think as a swing long perspective, guys, because this long position, once it reverses, we're potentially looking for the 70K region, and this is going to take weeks possibly, right? And you might think, yeah, come on, screw you. Well, we'll talk about this. You know, if it's not here, it's potentially going to be here where the CME futures gap is, right? And you know, we're just going to have to be very selective and manage risk very, very well, guys. If you get stopped out once or twice on any of your trading setups, it doesn't matter. You will be paying 10, 20 times even that stop loss in the next coming weeks. So yeah, basically remaining patient here, guys. You know, I would like to see that low claimed from yesterday. It just doesn't look too great right now to get a bounce right there. If we do start consolidating, right, failing to break out, then I would consider maybe a long from the previous day value area low. We're just going to have to see a little bit of a stop here, guys. You know, this is still very aggressive. Still very, very aggressive. If we start dancing around here, recovering previous day value area low, then I could consider that the price is going to recover. But till that does not happen, see a bit of, you know, proof of support and a small sign of strength of the bulls stopping the price here at this level, then I'm not considering a long right now where we at, okay? And you know, not a short either. You know, don't short in. I don't short into support. So yeah, I'm going to remain a little bit patient here, guys. Andy trying to cheer us up with 70k talk. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to happen, but obviously not now. We're just getting this pullback. Hey, remember, we are short from $70,000. We have been bearish last week, guys. We were looking for a top last week. We only talked about Elliott wave theory. Are we forming the fifth wave here? Is this the top? We are hitting the value area high. We were very much bearish and looking for that rejection here at the value area high, guys. We've been extremely, you know, not bearish really, but looking for the reversal. So saying, guys, we're going to have to reverse here at some point because we have formed the waves. The timing looks good, right? The timing based on the waves, this is already, you know, this is going to top out at some point. Very unlikely that we're going to smash through all-time high. This is why we shorted this level. This is why we had short talk last week, right? We're finally getting into the short on Monday. So overall, right now, we're looking for a local low. We're looking for a possible B wave, a possible lower high. We're looking for a low at some point here for a significant bounce. You know, this is unlikely to waterfall down to $53,000, right? This ain't going to happen. It's unlikely unless we see the stock market crashing another 10%, right? Then if the stock market were to do this, right, and drops another 5-6%, then I would say, okay, maybe Bitcoin is going to go to 53K, but unlikely to happen, okay? So the price will bounce. The price will bounce whether it is, you know, at these local lows at 52,500, 400, or going down to 61,600, right? It's going to find a bouncing zone at some point, okay? Very, you know, in the next coming days, hours, with this fall, okay? Nothing to panic here. Just need to be very selective. Have those levels marked up. As you touch them and you get back above them, that is when you trigger. Your stop loss is always beneath the low from the reaction, period. You don't add to the position and you don't do any of that silly nonsense, guys. This is how people burn money. This is how you get wrecked. You don't want to do any of that because maybe the price could come down to $53,000. Maybe it could. Imagine the people that get building up a swing long position here and then the price is coming down here in the next coming days. What are all of those people going to do? They're just going to ask, you know, they're going to ask for help. Like in the comment section, they're just going to have to say, guys, I'm underwater and I expect the price to reverse at some point. It's like, dude, where's your risk management? So don't trade like that, guys, because, you know, the price will go against you at some point and then you're going to feel sorry. Guys, risk management is the number one thing. Number one, don't do anything else. Have your risk management the number one thing on your list before any trading plans and any of the technical analysis and crystal balls. Risk management, guys. Number one thing. I cannot stress that enough. It is the number one. So anyway, yeah. Don't trade like me, guys. 𝗕𝗏𝗆. No, you're not an idiot. You know, I've been there as well. Okay. You're not an idiot. Don't say that about yourself. You just need a little bit of more practice on your risk management skills. Nothing else. Okay. Everybody can do this, but they need to prioritize risk management in this case. Nothing else. Okay. You're not an idiot. You're learning, and that is it. Okay. You will get through that. And this is just a part of the learning curve. Taking these big hits are very good for learning, okay? They suck, but they are very good for your learning curve, all right? Because you will know that you will not do this again. You will not get into a toxic trade and add to your position and be underwater expecting a reversal. You will start to learn that, and you will start not doing that. Don't do that, because you'll end up burning another account and quitting. Number one thing, guys, is risk management, and it's all about making small, consistent profits. Where do you prepare to long? I'm keeping it simple here. Like I said, if we do consolidate at this range, I would consider a local double bottom. If we claim yesterday's lows, I am looking for the double bottom. If we do get that double bottom sign, we get above the level and we see a small little sign of strength, I would consider a tight long, okay, to see if the price can reverse from this point. The price will reverse at some point, and we're going to see the prices at $67K, $68,000. This is going to happen. The question is, where is it going to happen and how I can manage risk. I don't care about getting stopped out with minor losses like this, guys. You know, when you're looking at a stop loss, right, that looks like this, I can get stopped out 5 times. You know, because I know the profits that I will make in the next week or two, you know, they will cover my stop losses and make me profits, right? It's math. It's simple. You will get your stop losses covered without a doubt, you know. And if we smash through this level, then I'm not interested in taking the long. I'm not interested in re-entering the long. I'm looking for the value area low. This is where I need to see a little bit of magic. You got 2 attempts here. The value area low, there's 3 scenarios. Value area low, 50% Fibonacci. There's 3 scenarios, guys, that are going to happen here. All right? Number 1, you just smash through the level. I'm not going to long any falling knife smashing through the level. So I'm not trading along here, even though this confluence looks great. That's scenario number 1. We smash through, I don't trade. I don't long. We get a reaction on the first touch, just like we did yesterday. We tap the level and we get above it. I'm going to have an insane small stop loss. If we tap this level, and I'm going to have the alert set a few $100s here, just like what happened yesterday, guys. This is how I got into this long position that is still there. It's at break even because I catched almost the bottom. It's because I have alerts set on the chart here, a few $100s, and I get those alerts on my phone. It's like beep, 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 and it's on the phone, and I'm like, okay, we're crossing the levels, and I'm waiting exactly for this 61,650 to be hit. We got value area low and 50%. If we hit that level, do you know where I'm going to enter? I'm going to enter exactly as we get above the level, okay? Exactly as we got above the level, just like I did with the long position here. The exact bottom, guys. It's slightly above, okay? It's not the exact bottom, but it's slightly above. Do you know where my stop loss is going to be? It's going to be glued to the low. Do you know that this can look something like this in the next coming days? You are risking this to potentially gain this, right? That is what we are projecting here for the next coming weeks. Of course, this was a first attempt. I did take a little bit of profits. It was not a bad attempt, but do you know how my stop loss looked from this long trade that I am in on Bybit? Do you know how this stop loss looked? You know why I entered? This is my projection from this. This is what I'm looking at. So far today, it was looking pretty good. It's already 5 times my stop loss. Same scenario is going to be applied here, guys. The same scenario till we get that reversal. You hit the level, you get above it, putting stop beneath the low. If I get stopped out, I don't care. I will make that stop loss in the next coming days at some point, right? Be patient, wait for the levels to be hit. And if the levels are not hit, we got some levels here to the upside. We'll enter a short, right? Spot on, 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, my brother. How are you doing, my man? Make sure to go and subscribe to 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, guys. He'll be doing a live stream, I think, later on. He provides insane technical analysis. He's also a coach in the Legends trading community. Go and check him out. 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝘽 is in the comment section, guys. You can go and check out his channel as he provides insane value and technical analysis every single day on the channel. The better advice always, Andy, risk management, double like button for that. Yeah, absolutely, guys. There's no secret. It's no secret. You can have the best strategy. I'm not the best TA guy in the world, guys. I think a lot of people know that. I'm not the best TA guy in the world, and very far from it. I still learn a few things on technical analysis, but what I know people cannot teach me risk management. I've been burnt many times before, and I don't get burnt anymore. I take losses, of course. Yeah, of course I take losses. I take many losses on different trading setups, but the losses are very small. They're just very small. I am consistent in making small losses. This is good, right? I'm a consistent small loss trader, right? Which is very, very good, because then your wins, you keep them big. Same as the short trade that we had from 70K. This was a double top. It was a double, triple top. Your losses are baby. Your losses are a baby, right? They're very, very small. When you trade this scenario over here, right? And, all of this, guys, all of this talk is because somebody in the comment section, 𝗕𝗏𝗆𝗺, is in a loss of $14,000 and is asking for help. And, it's a bit late to help you now, but I hope that this education, can help you in the near future, right? So, like I said, when you are targeting these crucial levels, and I mean, this was a swing failure pattern from this level, okay? This was very much mentioned on the channel, guys. I was looking for either this one or this one. These are the two pivots that I'm going to short, guys. These are the two pivots. One of them, I will short it. One of them, I will get in the short. As soon as the price hits one of those highs, I will short the rejection. Do you know how my stop loss looked, guys? Here. This is how my stop loss looked. And that trade, is doing very well. It's done very well. Taken $900 worth of profit. This was this week. This was on Monday. Left some open just for a hedging, right? Hedging any losses from longs. So this is the thing, guys. Okay. This is the thing. Risk management. Always be very selective. We're just about to take those lows, legends. We're just about to take those lows. Let's see if we do get the reaction here, or we're just going to smash through and we are going to go down to 61.7, or even smash through that level over there. That will be interesting, right? That will be interesting. Just imagine the price going to 58K and we are like waiting for levels of support, and then the price just drops $4,000. That will be interesting, right? Well, we're just going to enjoy that drop, right? Because I'm not going to be longing a major falling knife. I don't want to get into short now, obviously. But I enjoy the volatility, guys, because I'm usually not in a trade. I'm usually not looking for a trade. I can be in a trade if I'm in a short position, but I'm enjoying the volatility. If the price drops $5,000, then I'll just watch the price fall $5,000 till we see some proof of support, till we see the price stopping and ranging for a bit. Then we can analyze, what could be the next move. Right? I mean, that's how I learned how to analyze and trade, guys. What can I say? There's so many different styles of trading out there. Stopped out, break even, Aditya. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Watch out, a front run from Friday. Andy, bloodbath today. It is a bloodbath today. It is devastating. Look at this major collapse. Oh my goodness, on the stock market. It's been the worst Friday drop, guys, I think, from the last 1 or 2 years. Look at this. Look at this. It's been the most aggressive drop in one single day for I don't know how long. At least in 2024, right? We haven't had such an aggressive drop on the stock market in one day in 2024. It's the most aggressive drop that we've had in 2024. And Bitcoin's paying for that. We are paying the price on Bitcoin and crypto. So anyway, there's no background music, guys. Why didn't you let me know? We had that drum and bass going on. Anyway, bull run is over. S4 Auto, come on, man. Come on, brother. Guys, let's take a look at some news going on, okay? I think news is very interesting. As you know, there is a trading competition going on Bluffing, guys. Make sure to join the competition because there is a possibility of getting a piece of the cake of $300,000 prize pool. We are doing very well in the competition. We're in the, 4th, 5th ranking in the middle here regarding volume. And we have a big chance in getting a piece of the cake. This is a no KYC platform and you do get 15% cash back, guys, from your deposit, which is an insane bonus. Check it out, guys. No KYC, 15% cash back on your deposit, which is great, right? Getting 15% back from your deposit is pretty good indeed. Let's take a look at some news, legends, because we talked about this on today's video update, right? We had a few things that we mentioned. ETFs, there's still some inflows going on, nothing too new. So overall, mid-long time frame, we're getting the leverage volatility, of course, going to the downside. But the data is suggesting that there is accumulation going on still at these levels, okay? Nothing to worry about the drops, guys. We will get an epic pump at some point, and you want to be in that pump, right? But we could go to 59K, we could go to 57K. Just be ready for those scenarios. And we need to see a bit of proof of support. We have Mt. Gox. There's been a distribution. This is possibly one of the reasons why, because this has gone down a few $1 billion in the last few days. And they are distributing a lot of their Bitcoin, okay? There's been a lot of distribution from Mt. Gox. And this could be a reason as well about the selling pressure, okay? Nothing to worry about. Normal. We need to get this out of the way and then we can move forward, right? Largest corporate Bitcoin hodlers as of 7/31/24. We do see obviously BlackRock being the number one, over 342,000 Bitcoin, guys. They already hold over 1.5% of the entire Bitcoin supply, which is massive, obviously. You got GBTC, and you have many others. ARK, you have the holders here from the ETF, which is quite a lot, eh? In between all of them, I think it's more than 1 million Bitcoin. Pretty crazy. So overall, this is still continuing to the upside, guys. There's still accumulation going on regarding the ETF. There's going to be that supply shock. We will be forming a higher low and we'll be crushing all-time high at some point in the next coming months or weeks, right? Australia Bitcoin ETF. This is pretty lame. I'm sorry if you're Australian. They've surpassed 100 Bitcoin. Oh my goodness. I mean, compared to the US ETF, which is hundreds of thousands, Australian ETF holdings are just over 100 Bitcoin, right? It's a little bit lame, but it's growing. This could go to 200 and 300 and 500, right? There's accumulation going on there. Not very much, but anyway, it's, they're in the game, which is good. So anyway, legends, I'm going to go out with the missus. We're going to go out for dinner. We might go bowling. I might take some pictures and upload them on the community. Why not? Share a little bit of my social life. I'm really out of social media, guys. I'm not really a social media guy, but I think it is much needed to connect a little bit more with the community. If you go to my Instagram or nothing, I'm not really a social guy, but I'm going to start being a bit social. I'm very private with my life. Just because I think it's, social media has gone a little bit crazy right now with personal lives. But I think it's fine to share a little bit of, what somebody is doing. If you are a follower from me, just share a little bit of my studio, my, bit of everything, bit of my life, right? So anyway, guys, thank you very much. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe with your trading, okay? And watch out these zones, right? We're looking for double bottoms. Manage risk very, very well. 1 or 2 stop losses at a small loss is nothing, guys. When the price goes in your favor, it will pay off your stop losses. Manage risk, legends. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you in the next one.